It makes me think of like the bear hunt. We're going on a bear hunt. We're gonna catch a big one. It's like, oh no, a narrow, gloomy cave. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. I think we've got to go through it. Dum 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 dum. So that's gonna be in my head the whole time. Good morning everyone, we're just getting ready to leave. Hopefully everything is where it should be and we haven't left anything behind. That's always my biggest fear, is leaving something behind. We are off to, where are we going, Chris?
City of Caves under Nottingham City Centre.
Yeah, Chris was Googling last night what to do in Nottingham. We apparently found out that it's the City of Caves. So we're going to go look at some caves this morning.
Going to be cave trolls. I'm going to be a cave troll.
Yeah, you can be a troll, I'm not a troll. But yeah, anyway, let's get out of this place. It smells, I can smell their weed already. The people like opposite. My God.
It lingers.
My God. I reckon if you stood out in that hallway you could get high.
Oh, sweet summer child.
Bloody hell, I can smell it. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. It does actually look quite nice out here. And the ducks all the way over the other side. I was going to say there are ducks, but I'm not going all the way over that side. I think the last time I went in a cave was when I was in Zante, when I was a kid.
That's such a gap year thing to always say.
Pardon?
Zante was a Greek island, that sounds so... Am I gap year?
No, I went when I was a kid.
No.
It was a great family holiday actually. Thank you very much. Dissing my family holidays just because you're posher than me. Have you got like any information about this cave tour?
What do you mean?
I just didn't know if you had anything like...
Nothing to hand, it was all online.
So we could actually be just being lured to our death. There could be some guy...
No, I checked on Google Maps, there's legit signs, it's all good.
Okay, so we're not going to get killed in a cave.
Not likely.
That's not guaranteed though. It's not guaranteed. I'm kind of excited actually. But I'm scared at the same time. It's going to be really cold, isn't it?
It's going to be chilly.
Right, what are we listening to? We can't put it on because I'll get copyrighted, but just tell me what's the first song.
We're going to put on the new Dropkick Murphys.
Okay, we're listening to Dropkick Murphys. And we're going to go into a cave. See you soon.
Right, welcome. We're now in a cave.
Oh, I don't like the World War noises. They scare me. I don't like it.
So, the astute amongst you will have noticed that we're now passing out, we've passed out of this, so these people just coming along now have come out of the cave system. And actually, I don't know why it's not better illuminated, but that's the cliff face just there. So we're now outside. If they hadn't built these walls around us, we'll be outside. We're not in cave anymore. But at the moment, we are inside because they have built these walls, and we're in a mock-up of a 1940s Anderson shelter.
Actual toddler's mask. Oh, that's really heavy. Wait, seriously? Hello.
the archaeology of Nottingham, which if you're interested in that sort of thing. It's
Wow.
fascinating. So can you see these bricks down here, this lowest left? They're kind of mismatching and they're all kind of slightly different sizes. That's because they're handmade. Those are 18th century bricks. I think that was somebody's house at some point. So you've got this old house. And that house was knocked down, and another building was built above it. Got a building using factory-made bricks, Victorian bricks. So you've got, well, I think it was probably a hosiery factory built on top of it. That building was knocked down, and above it, you can see that dimpled concrete above your heads. That is actually the underside of a 1970s shopping centre. And that sort of leads us on to the history of this area and the history of this tour as well. So this area, at one time, used to be called Narrow There are three areas next to each other: Broad Marsh, Middle Marsh, Narrow Marsh. And Narrow Marsh had been medieval housing, loads of little, very thin medieval lanes. The most famous of which was called Drury Hill, and it was actually the main road into Nottingham from London. But it was so narrow that it was said that you could reach out of your upstairs window and shake hands with the man in the building opposite. Tiny, tiny cobbled lanes. And in the 19th century, they've been horrendous, actually. It's been one of the worst ones in the entire world. A place full of poverty, vice, deprivation, disease, crime. Awful, awful place. But loads of tiny little cobbled medieval streets. And if they'd survived to today, I'm sure that would be a tourist attraction. It would be similar to York or Chester, Durham, somewhere like that. But it was not to be. Nearly was, but not quite, because the 1960s got in the way. The 1960s, the times were changing. It was, it's exciting. It's post-war. Out with the old, in with the new. People didn't want cobbled, narrow, medieval streets anymore. People wanted the new trendy thing from the United States. Everything American was trendy, and what they wanted was this new idea: the indoor shopping centre. You never have to go outdoors again. You don't need vitamin D or fresh air. You could get all of your plastic tax under one roof. And so what they did, in 1968, they decided to clear all of those medieval cobbled streets, despite everything that the public of Nottingham said in their defence. It was decided that they were not economically viable, and so they were demolished, removed. And in their place, this huge, brutalist, concrete block was laid down, the Broad Marsh Shopping Centre. And as they were creating that, as they were digging down to lay the foundations, they uncovered the caves underneath. They uncovered lots and lots of caves. Many of them were destroyed in that process. And amongst the caves that they found was the Tannery Caves back there. Because they'd been bricked up and lost and forgotten about. But they discovered them. And the people who were digging down thought, well, this is incredible. There's these caves under here. Let's fill them in with concrete. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to backfill them. Because what use were they? They were in the way of this new shopping centre. And it was only because local historians and local archaeologists stepped in and lobbied that those caves were saved. And as part of the deal for saving those caves, they were going to create a tour of the cave. So what you could do, you could go into the shopping centre and buy all of the stuff that you wanted to buy in there, and then through the shopping centre you could enter a City of Caves tour. And these beautiful ladies in lovely yellow dresses would bring you down and take you around these caves and tell you about the history of them. Now you get me. But 50 years ago, you got somebody much more attractive to come and tell you about them. All of that would have been wonderful, wouldn't it? That sounds marvellous. Apart from the fact that Broad Marsh was a rubbish shopping centre. And nobody really went to it. They just used it as a thoroughfare to get through to the railway station or get through to the bus station. And so it kind of limped along for decades. With shops closing down, and as time went by, more shops closed and fewer customers came, and that caused more shops to close. And then the pandemic hit, and obviously nobody went out shopping, and so even the Wimpy Bar closed, and so they demolished the Broad Marsh Centre, and everyone was delighted. You see our history played out layer upon layer. So here is the 18th century, the 19th century, the 20th century, and then over our heads, the building the 21st century, whether we like it or not. And this is where I leave you. But before I leave you, I'm going to say that you can wander the rest of the caves at your leisure.
It is creepy down here.
Cool.
I like it though.
Cool.
Yeah. Sucks to be you.
Oh, that's my house.
It's too nice to be your house. So they would have their houses underground.
Parts, if you recall.
I suppose like you'd have all that this cellar
Like
and
in the Middle Ages, yeah, people would either live or use as territory.
yeah. I think is that the steps that you could see from the other side?
So this was slum house, and it's quite good. Actually, brickwork and
God. There's a picture of Queen Victoria. Do you know what though? It's quite warm down here. Like you said it was going to be cold.
14 degrees usually, it's chilly.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Do you think you could live in a cave?
Yeah.
So there's all like the layers I think that he was talking about. It's like to do with the medieval cesspit. That's grim. Let's go down the little steps. I'd hate to share a cesspit with you. It's bad enough having to go in the bathroom after you've been there. At least that gets flushed away. So is there like an audio tour of this as well? What the heck is that?
That's just layers of stuff, as I say, that's where it's just, that's a whole layer of just odd bricks and stuff that's just been compacted and
Do you think one day like our houses will be under a layer?
Maybe. Well, you think it's hardcore, so when you put in like foundations down, before you put foundations you try and put a little bit of hardcore, which is just mixed.
Yeah.
Rocks, like offer, so water can filter off if needed. That's what it is, all these rocks. You've broken stuff in the old houses, just crush it down.
It's just weird seeing all like the different textures, isn't it?
That's actually the more modern stuff. That's
Yeah.
It's a mix.
So that's all like,
That's modern. That's
is that concrete?
Yeah, that's concrete.
And then you've got like the sandstone.
Yep.
That's the weird stuff because it kind of sort of crumbles but is also sturdy. And then you've got brick.
And then everything in between.
Yeah, it's weird.
Cool.
Imagine doing this like late at night on your own. Just like walking through these caves.
You think you don't know now it's been the other day, but it was actually never different.
True. This is like steps up there.
It's really stark, isn't it?
Don't think there's anything up there. Is this back at the beginning? Oh yeah! We're back at the beginning. So that's the well. Oh look, loads of people put pennies and things in it. And then these bits here are like for hands and feet, the guy was saying.
Huh?
Yeah, so this is like the other view of the slum house. So you can see the stairs going up. It's so cool. Whoa. And this is like the medieval cesspit. You can't really see it in this light. Hey Chris, can you shine a torch in here? I want to see whether you can see any poop. Yeah, there should be. Oh, look at that.
That's just sediment, that's just pebbles.
That's not pebbles, that's where they pooed.
Yeah, but there's not left any now, so we have people come around. You div.
No, that's definitely their poop. Medieval poop. Oh look, there's more brick up here. I want to go again. Again. That's so cool. If there's an apocalypse, I think I could survive underground, you know.